Welcome back to Relay Gun Adventures and to what would appear to be quite a nice Colt single action army revolver, but this is in fact a Daisy 179 BB gun. Not an air pistol, not really a catapult gun, not a CO2 powered gun. This is quite different. Quick bit of history. So in 1960 or thereabouts, up until about 1981, Daisy produced these really nice looking, what they called spitting image BB guns. And they are very nice looking, and they're pretty good weight and nicely made. Very low power, not really practical for shooting anything really, but certainly good for knocking over some lightweight targets, paper cups and the like, because they are such low power. Now they are probably the first of a long line of deliberate replicas. These were made to look like the Colt single action army. It's not the first time Daisy have done something like that, but it's the first time they've come out and said, we've done this on purpose, this is the idea. Now in 1981, when these stopped, demand continued. So in, I think it was 1992 or thereabouts, they started production again, and that went on for another 4 or 5 years till they stopped. And then incredibly, they found a huge pile of spare parts in a warehouse, and there was enough bits to make another 700 Daisy 179s. So they did, and they were a limited edition, and you can only buy those from the Daisy Museum. This is an American made pistol. They've been made anywhere else. Everything about it sort of screams realism. I mean, obviously nothing on it is going to work. The revolver doesn't move, but the hammer works as it should, single action, and the trigger works as it should. Now what's happening when I do that is I'm drawing back a spring, or I'm drawing back a mechanism attached to a spring, and there's a firing pin. So when I pull the trigger, and it is quite a light trigger, the pin moves forward to where the BB sits in the breech and glances it. It doesn't actually push it out, it glances it, and the inertia generated by that fires it clear of the barrel for quite a few feet, but not particularly far and not particularly powerful. I'll pop some of these into a paper target at about, I'll try 10 feet, see how that goes. But I've got this really because it's not a genuine collectible, it's just a nice thing to have. They did make a very small number of these in solid brass, which allegedly were salesmen's samples. Much more likely that they were special editions for people that performed well or sold lots or did things that Daisy liked. Now if you can find one of those in a box in pristine condition, they're worth a lot of money. One of these isn't really worth a lot of money, but as I say, it's a nice thing to have, and it's probably the early forerunner of all the current replica pistols that you see. Difference being is that it's more of a toy than an air pistol. It's certainly not an air pistol. Anyway, I'll shoot a few into a target and then I'll just round up. I picked this up for very little money. It was in a very sorry state. It's had a little bit of TLC. It looks pretty good now. The only thing that I may do is perhaps make some grips, and then that'll be really special. We'll see how that goes. But for now, I'll just fire a few BBs. This actually holds 12, I think, and the BBs themselves going down here. And this spring pulls back, the spring tab pulls all the way back, as it does on most BB guns. Drop in some BBs, let the spring back. Now this one, the pull tab is broken, and I do have an idea of how I can repair that, but it's not a problem, it still works. I just use a small Allen key, I've got one sat there, pop it in, put it back, load up some BBs, and away I go. But I will probably restore it to its former glory, just so as it's complete, which will be a really nice thing to have in the collection. So yeah, nice looking pistol, well made. It's all metal, it's not going to degrade, it certainly won't go rusty because it's not made of anything particularly ferrous by the look of things. It's all some kind of alloy, but it is nicely done, and that is a really nice light trigger. Unfortunately, it's not attached to anything of any substance. Anyway, bit of shooting, be right back. Well, there you go, bit of shooting. I like this, and I like this for all the wrong reasons. I like it because it looks nice. It reminds me of the old cowboy films. It's just a bit of fun. It's not something that you would buy for any serious target shooting. It's just not going to do it. But it's surprisingly accurate and woefully underpowered. But you know, what do you expect? It's not really much more than a toy. It's just a very nice looking toy. I quite like the way that the hammer and the trigger are contrast metals. They're just some kind of die cast, so nothing special. The whole body is some kind of alloy. Again, nothing special, but it's certainly, I mean, this is a 1960s model. This is the early type, because the later ones, so the sort of the 1992-ish models had a safety, push-through safety over here. This one doesn't, so it's one of the earlier, the first run, if you like, the originals. But I just like it. I just think it's a nice thing, and it's a nice thing to look at without having to spend a couple of £100 on a, you know, incredibly detailed replica, which I probably wouldn't get the enjoyment from. I can have fun with this. I'd be a bit worried about anything expensive. Anyway, that's enough of that. So please like and subscribe. For all those that have, it's a big thank you. Everyone that does, that's a big thank you to you as well. I'll be back very soon. I've got loads of stuff that I'm working on. I guess I better finish off those night vision reviews. I've got another rifle coming up as well, which is a bit different. Anyway, that's enough. I'm going to get away. See you all soon. Bye for now.